is a strategic approach to managing our organization's workforce. It covers all major activities in an employee's working life, when they join in the organization until they leave. The scope of HRM is wide and expansive. So, for today's, we have Miss Afsana Hubli. She has completed a bachelor's in computer science engineering from AGMR College, Warur. She is working at Vijesha IT Services, where she has served as an HR head and been promoted to operations head. Along with a leadership role, she is also contributing as an expertise with us. Honored to have Ms. Afsana today, and we warmly welcome you and look forward for a highly informative session. So, Ms. Afsana, are you in?
Yes. Yes, I mean, yeah. So, thank you so much for your
Afsana,
wonderful.
you're not audible to
Yeah,
us.
am I audible? I hope I'm audible, right? Am I
Yes,
audible?
you are audible.
Okay, cool. So, thank you so much for your wonderful introduction. So, basically, as it was said, that human resource is the one who strengthens the organization, right? To start with the things. So, human resource is the one who often will be the backbone of the organization. Okay. So, basically, they support, they strengthen, and they keep the entire workforce aligned, right? So, they will be keeping them aligned and functionally effective, right? So people do say HR is something they just uh, tag in the social media that we are hiring, we are hiring. What exactly they do, right? So they are not only just hiring the talent, but also they are nurturing, they are developing, and they are retaining the employees, right? So and they ensure that organization grows sustainably, right? So starting with my introduction. For the side of Sana, so currently I'm working as a talent acquisition in Hyderabad location. Okay, so to start with today's session, so as people say, HR will be the backbone. So here, employee will be the company's greatest asset, but HR will be the backbone that will be supporting them, and they will be empowering, right? Right? They will be holding them together so that the people of the organization stay strong, and they give the work productive, right? So let me start with the things. Okay, I hope my screen is visible to all, right? Is it visible?
Yes, Afsana, the screen is visible.
Okay, cool. Okay, so let us start with the things. Okay, so what exactly the HR strategies are, what exactly the talent toolkit is, right? So today here we will be understanding what exactly the human resource manage in the modern workspace look like. Okay, so we'll be starting with the things that is introduction to human resource management, evolution of human resource management, and key functions that are involved in HRM, and how the exactly the talent acquisition team works, and how the retention works in the organization, and what will be the performance and employee management and legal compliance and work policy, right? So workspace policies also we will be including in that. Then we will be having the future of HRM and the talent toolkit for the students. Okay, so starting with the first thing, what exactly the human resource management is, what exactly the HRM is, right? So people have different definitions of what exactly the human resource is. Okay, people might be confused what exactly the human resource does in the organization. People know only few things that are being showcased in the social media, right? So many people have seen what exactly the memes you'll be seeing in the social media, right? So that is not how the HR team works, or how that is how the talent acquisition works. Okay, so basically, human resources someone who manage the people effectively in the organization, right? So when we are hiring a talent, so we look for the right candidate to be coming in the organization, training them, developing them. Okay, so that is also a part of the human resource, right? So coming with the other things, managing the performance, ensuring that the performance is up to the mark as per the expectations of the stakeholders, right? So then we will be ensuring that even employees are satisfied with the organization's workplace, right? So even we have to make sure that the human resource person has to make sure that employee satisfaction is met, right? So apart from that, we will be aligning employee goals with the company goal, right? So we will be having certain goals, right? So even when we will be coming into the organization, we have certain expectation from the organization, right? So we being the human resource, we being the face of the organization, so it's very important for us to make sure that the we are aligning employees goal with the company's goal, right? So in short, if we have to say, the HRM is something we are managing the people, we are managing the performance, and we are managing the growth, right? So every person who comes in the organization looks for the growth, right? So no one just randomly comes, or no one just wants to stay in the same position for a long time, right? So they need certain appraisals, they need certain hike, so they need certain growth, right? So human resource is something that you're managing the people, you're interacting with them, you're managing the performance, because to give them the growth, or to give them the hike, or to give them the appraisals, you need to track the performance, right? So even that has been handled by the human resource, and managing the growth is also the main aspect that we will be having in human resource. So to say, it is basically you're getting the right people into the organization for the right role, right? So this is what human resource look like. Okay, so what is the importance of human resource management? So this will be helping us to hire the skilled employees, right? So we will be hiring certain candidates who will be a fresh, right? So we will be hiring freshers, we will be hiring experienced people, right? Sometimes the experienced person also might not have the skill set what exactly we require for the role, right? So we need people who have the right skill set to fit for the role, right? So it will be helping us to improve the employee productivity will be there, right? So it builds a positive workspace culture, right? So you will be even reducing the employee turnover and ensure smooth business of the operations, right? So to coming with the importance, like I said, so we will be having certain employee productivity, right? So all employees will be having certain productivity, right? So you will be checking what exactly the employee is doing in the organization, what his or her performance of the month look like, right? So we will be checking out with that. So here what exactly we'll be doing, we have to maintain that positive workplace, right? So we have to see what exactly the employee need, right? So to contribute for the organization, there are certain things even the employee requires, right? So every employee has a different expectation, when even when we will be talking to the employees, right? So every employee in the organization has a different expectation. Some are looking out for the growth, some are looking out for the appreciation, some are looking out for the hikes, right? So every workplace culture has a different set of things that makes the positive workplace, right? So even we have to check as a human resource, that will be our main objective, that we even have to see what exactly it look like. Okay, so when you're hiring a person and there is a employee turnover, so of course that is something a big red flag that you'll be getting, right? So again you have to hire, right? So again you have to build up the team, so that is what it happens. So to reduce that, so you should see what type of skill set people you have to get for a particular role, so that you have to make sure that it reduces the employee turnover, right? So it should ensure the smooth business operation, right? So to ensure the smooth business, we have to make sure the right skilled people are being hired for the role. Okay, so if you're getting randomly anyone for the particular role, and if there is a employee turnover, right? So of course there will be an impact on the business operation, right? So even this is the most important thing that you need to look after as a HR, right? So what exactly and how exactly the evolution of HRM has happened, right? So traditional HR was like administrative and payroll focused, right? So modern HR, we are focusing on the strategy and development focused. Future HR will be completely AI based and data driven decision making, right? So currently in our organization also, we are having the AI based what to say, talent acquisition, right? So who will be taking up the calls, but see the impact what a human talent acquisition creates, and what the AI creates is completely different, right? So this is something we have been evolved, right? So when it comes for previous traditional HR, so we had something called as administrative, and we had a payroll focus. So someone who was completely into the administrative stuff, who was not thinking strategically, right? So strategically is something that you need to understand, okay, to get this work done. So how many workforce we require, right? So that is something right now the modern HR is doing, right? So the strategic and the development focused is something modern HR is looking after, right? So coming for the future HR, as I said, it will be completely AI based, and you will be having a data driven decision making, right? So it will be completely a data driven decision making HR who will be getting evolved in the coming future, right? So this is how the evolution of the HRM has been so far. Currently we are into the modern HR stage and in between the future HR, okay? So we are in between. So we have people who are utilizing AI based calling for the talent acquisition. Even in our organization we are doing it. So we have a AI based talent acquisition who is taking up the basic check round for the candidates, okay? So that's how it's working. So in future we will be completely having a AI based and the decision driven future HR, okay? So what exactly the key functions of HRM look like? Okay, so basically we have certain criterias, right? So we have certain criterias that is in terms of, if you take in terms of recruitment, if you take in terms of selection, we have different departments working and different type of criterias that we will be having as a human resource, okay? So coming to the functions, these are our major functions that we will be having. We will be having the TD department, that is training and development. We have PM, that is performance management department. We have employee engagement, payroll and compensation, compliance and policy management, right? So certainly coming to the recruitment, we have many types of recruitment into that, right? So it depends on the company to company what type of recruitment they follow and what type of selection criteria they have, okay? So training and development is something they will be completely focusing on to the nurturing of the employees who are recently joined or who are a fresh batch, right? So they will be focusing on to that, and the complete training and development will be done. Performance management is something that we will be doing to check the performance and to check is the candidate eligible for the appraisal cycle, or is the candidate eligible for the next upcoming growth perspective. To have a proper track record of the employee performance, we will be doing the performance management. Employee engagement is something that, as I said, employee recognition will be there. Employee appreciation is required, right? To make the employee feel good and motivated to work, we need certain things, right? So that is how the employee engagement works, okay? So payroll and compensation is something. Payroll is something that, of course, if you are working in an organization, so you need to have a certain payroll system, right? So if you are having a compensation, you need to have a proper compensation breakdown as well, right? So to have that, we will be having one of the major working function of the HRM as a payroll and compensation, okay? Coming to the compliance and the policy management, here compliance and the policy management is something that we will be having certain agreement, right? So compliance and policy management is something we will be having certain agreement between the two parties, okay? It might be the company and the candidate, or it might be the company and the institute, or it might be the company and the agencies. So we will be having certain compliance rules and some certain policy management that we will be focusing. So these all are different departments under HRM. So these are the part of HR, but yeah, but still they vary from roles and responsibilities, okay? So what exactly the recruitment and selection look like? So first, as an initial thing, we will be posting a job, right? So every organization posts a job when there is a vacancy open, okay? So it might be Naukri, it might be Apna, it might be Indeed, or we have even LinkedIn as well. So we have many portals where we will be utilizing this job postings, right? So we will be posting a job. From there we will be getting certain applicants, right? So we will be getting certain applications. From those applications, what we will be doing, we will be doing the initial screening, okay? So some companies use a manual screening technique, some company use a ATS based. Okay, so if you're doing a ATS based, so certain criteria will be there. Your resume should match with the complete JD, right? So your resume should match with the JD, and you have to see what type of candidates you are getting, and are the candidate relevant to your job or no. Okay, so that is the initial screening that you will be doing. You'll be taking up the telephonic interview for them. Okay, so coming for the next, we will be having conducting the interviews. You'll be scheduling, you'll be taking the telephonic, you find it a right fit, you will start scheduling the interview, the interview gets conducted. Okay, out of the interviews conducted, you will be for example, we'll consider we are conducting 10 interviews per day. Okay, so we have conducted 10 interviews on a day, so we got very good selects of almost 5 people, so we have selected out of 10 the best 5 candidates. So selecting the best candidate is also a part of the recruitment. Then once it is done, you will be initiating certain things based on your organization. So if we take our organization, we have certain criteria that we will be doing the background verification, we will be doing each and every certain requirement of the verifications will be done, and each and every documents will be verified. Post that, they will be having the onboarding process done, right? So it depends on the organization to organization again. So once the screening of resume, conducting of interview, and selecting the best candidates, and doing all the process and onboarding them, so your goal to hire the right person for the right job is completed. Okay, so you have hired a very right person for the particular job role, so you have filled out the requirement what was open. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, so there are certain things. Okay, so here are few things people call HR by different names. Okay, so we have recruiters, we have talent acquisition, we have human resource, we have like payroll specialist, we have compliance specialist, we have L&D. So we have different people coming in the picture when we take it as a HR, right? So coming to the things, so here if we take it as a talent acquisition, okay, so when I'm into the talent acquisition, what exactly we will be doing is we will be checking for the long term talent strategy. Okay, so we will be exactly seeing for the next coming year what is our requirement to fulfill the operations of the business. Okay, so we will be thinking in that perspective when we come into the talent acquisition. When you are into human resource, you will be just overseeing end to end what exactly is happening into each department. But when you're specifically targeting the talent acquisition, you are completely inclined towards the hiring part. You are making sure that you are leading a team and you are hiring the right person for a open position. Okay, when it comes for the recruitment, recruitment is something you are hiring for a short term. Okay, so you might be hiring people for a contractual base, right? So or you might be hiring a person for a intern, right? So as an intern you might be hiring them, right? So you might be hiring in multiple ways. This hiring will be for short term. Okay, so you have a certain requirement for a certain time period, so you will be using it as a recruitment. Okay, so talent acquisition is something you are looking out for a long term talent strategy. Okay, so long term talent strategy is something you are making sure that you are seeing what exactly the business requirement is in upcoming 1 year, and you have to plan the things accordingly, and you have to hire the people accordingly. Okay, so in hiring also we have many coming up. Okay, so we have into the technical. Okay, we have a tech team hiring, right? So even we have that in the hiring process. We have a lateral hiring and we have a bulk hiring. Okay, so lateral hiring is something you are hiring individually, like your requirement might be of 1 or 2 people. Okay, so you are hiring a ASM. Okay, this is associate senior managers, zonal managers, or zonal business head. So you might be hiring certain leadership role. So that comes under something called as lateral hiring. So you are not hiring in a bulk, you are hiring laterally. That is, might be max to max, you'll be going with 1 to 5 people. Okay, so if you are coming into these category, you are into the lateral hiring. Okay, so when it comes for a bulk hiring is something you are having a monthly hiring of almost 100 people to be onboarded. So that is something you are doing into the bulk hiring. Okay, so tech hiring is something you are only looking and focusing on to the technical people, and you are hiring and fulfilling the technical requirement. Okay, so in the talent acquisition hiring also we have multiple things. If you uh, dig down the things, you will be getting more and more things coming up. Okay, so let's not focus on to it. We'll move quickly for the next one, that is employer branding. Employer branding is something that if just imagine I'm the employer of an organization, what type of uh, things are happening in the organization make me the employer branding, right? So here what happens, if you are coming and if I'm saying okay, this is a thing that I have faced, and if I'm posting the same thing into the social media, that is something you are like degrading the organization or something, right? So when the same thing you go and do it in a positive way, so that is something you're doing a brand, right? So you're a brand ambassador of that organization, right? So talent pipeline building, so this talent pipeline building comes in the bulk hiring. Okay. So when you're doing the bulk hiring is nothing but when you're hiring people in bulk, right? So you might have seen organizations such as Wipro, Infosys, Accenture. They hire in bulk at a stretch from a campus. They hire 40, 50 people, right? So this is how the talent pipeline building works. And strategic hiring is something you're strategizing the things, you know whom to target, who is your target audience. So when it comes for our tech hiring, we only focus on triple IT colleges. Okay, so we don't go for this less than the triple IT colleges. We strategically focus only on the triple IT colleges, and we hire them as a SDE, right? So we hire them as a STE, right? So this is how it goes. So we are strategically only focusing on the IITians, because IITians might be having a more in-depth and hands-on experience onto this tech, right? So we will be more focusing onto that. But still, it depends company to company what exactly they are looking for. Okay, so all companies have a different criteria to onboard and hire a person. So still it depends, but yeah, just to give the example, certain companies have a certain criteria. Okay, so just imagine we have hired a person. Now we, our main target is to retain that person. If we are failing to retain that person, is something that you have to work on the work culture, you have to work on the other aspects, why the person was not able to be retained. We have to check on to that person, were there any possibility that we could have retained the person, or what made it go wrong. So even we have to think in that perspective when we are looking out for retention. Okay, so a person is coming in the organization for mainly the growth opportunities, right? The career growth opportunities he will be looking out, right? So you will be having a positive work culture, so they will be having a recognition and rewards. Okay, training programs, so these will be helping us to reduce the employee turnover. So when you have a positive work culture, when you have a recognition and rewards, when you have a training programs coming up, so at that time the employee turnover will be reduced. Okay, so if you're randomly onboarding people and you're keeping in the organization and then there is no career path shown to them, so of course there is a high chance they will be going out of the organization. Whenever a candidate comes in, you have to make sure that you're giving, you being a HR, you're giving them a proper guidelines, proper growth path. Okay, so what exactly your next 1 year look like, or next upcoming 2 to 3 years look like? So where you can be if you're performing these things, where you can be. So this is how you will be checking. Okay, so this is how you will be retaining the talent in the organization. Okay, so performance management. So performance management is something you will be setting up a goal, right? So uh, in our organization we have a goal setter. Okay, so for the in the start of the month we will be setting the goals, that this is what our month look like and this is what we are planning to achieve. Okay, here we will be tracking the performance. Okay, so here we will be tracking the performance and we will be trying to understand if the weekly performance. Okay, for example, I have a team. Okay, so if my team is not able to achieve the number of onboardings that we want. Okay, for a month, as I'm into the bulk hiring, so we will be having a monthly onboarding somewhere close to 100. Okay, so we will be hiring people for work from home, work from office in a bulk that is of 100. Okay, 100, 150, it depends on the role. Okay. So at that time, if the monthly target needs to be achieved, I need to check the weekly target of my team. Okay, so if weekly target is not met, what exactly we will be doing? We will be checking the performance, right? So what went wrong? What would have given a better? Here comes the feedback session. Okay, so then I start to give the feedback to the people, that these are the things that you can improvise and this is how you can make the changes. If you're making these changes, this goal is something that looks to be achievable. Okay, at the end, it's getting achieved or no is a second thing, because there might be some or the other blockers coming up. Sometimes the panels might not be available, sometimes the HMs might not align. So there are few things other coming up, but still we will be trying to pull out the people and still will be trying to implement the feedbacks given by our managers or senior managers. Okay, then comes the appraisals. Appraisals is something that depends on the other two aspects, that is performance and your how good you're implementing the feedback. Okay, so every we will be having a certain appraisal cycles. It might be in the month of April or it might be in the month of October, depending on the organization. Okay, so certain appraisal cycles will be there. At that time, they will be keeping all your 6 months ka performance. Okay, they'll keep your 6 months performance and they will see what all you have achieved, what was given, how much you have achieved, and why you were not able to achieve, how is your behavior, how you're getting the things done, and what exactly you are doing. So this is how you will be checking out. Okay, so to improve the productivity and growth, you need to get that appraisal cycle start, right? So to get that appraisal cycle, you need feedback session and performance tracking. So everything is interconnected here. So you have to track the performance. First you have to set the goal, track the performance, give the feedback. If the feedback is implemented, if the performance is on track, get into them into the appraisal. This will be helping us to improvise the productivity and the growth of the organization as well as the employee, right? So this is how it works as a performance management. Okay, so coming to the next, that is employee engagement. So we will be having certain team building activities. It might be rewards recognition, learning programs, open communication. Happy employees equal to productive employees, right? So we will be having certain things. You might be having a team outings. We might be having certain fun events. We might have fun Fridays. We have happy Friday, happy Saturday. So these one or the other things will be done, because see, every person needs some or the other break in the week, right? So alternative week or something like that, you can arrange certain activities to keep the employee engaged. So see, we have almost so many departments in our organization, whom we don't know itself. Even we are in the same organization, we don't know their names, we don't know which department they belong to. We just, when we search them on our teams, we get to know, okay, this person is from this department. That's how we connect to them. Okay, so to understand better, that is something team building activities can be done. We can give the rewards, we can give the recognition, so each and every person in the organization get to know what exactly and who exactly the person is and from which department he or she is, right? So this is also one of the things that you have to check, that is coming under rewards and recognition. Learning programs is something to enhance their knowledge. You will be organizing, and it depends on the organization to organization what type of programs they're keeping. Open communication is something that you're allowing your employees to openly communicate regarding the things, openly discuss their problems, openly give the feedback, and you being a HR, you have to make sure that you're taking up those things and implementing accordingly. If the employee is happy, of course the productivity will be increased, that is for sure. If employee is not happy and if employee is not showing that enthusiasm and not interested things coming up, then of course the productivity will be going down. So when a productivity is coming down, you have to have a one-on-one session with that employee, try to understand what is going wrong and what is running in his mind. Okay, so this is how the employee engagement happens. Legal compliance and the workplace policies. See, anti-harassment policies will be there, right? So employment contracts basically. So this might be with employee to employee, company to company, company to agency, company to institute, right? So employee contracts is something, anti-harassment policies will be there. So certainly in our organization also we have this posh policies and everything. Okay, so whenever something goes wrong, they will be having a posh policy filed against, right? So this is how the anti-harassment policies look like. Attendance policy is something, you will be having certain crms given to you, right? So to track your attendance, to track your leaves, everything will be done. And to protect both companies and employees confidential discussions that has happened, you will be using this workplace policies. Confidential things, when it comes to something related to your ctc part. Okay, the ctc part is something that you have to keep it as confidential. Even your manager doesn't know what exactly your ctc is, right? So that's how it's been. The one who hired you and the one who has discussed with you in the hr, and only those people know what exactly the ctc you earn. Okay, so that is how the confidential things you have to keep it when it comes for workplace policies. Okay, regarding your leaves, regarding your attendance, regarding your anti-harassment policies, you have to make sure that these all things are included as a employee benefits in the employment contract. Okay, so what exactly the future of hrm looks? Okay, so ai in recruitment, this is something we have already implemented. Okay, so ai in recruitment is something, we are giving a certain set of data to the ai, and it is taking the first initial basic screening round, and then it is giving the very qualified and closely matched leads to us. Okay, so here this will be helping us to decrease the uh, time consuming activities as well, right? So to, if the task is consuming more of your time, so it will be helping to even check onto it, and to even it decreases those things, right? So here, to manage the remote work management, so you will be having these things. ai will be there. Automation of hr tasks, right? So we'll be having certain automations. Automation in the sense, we will be having a direct links we will be sharing. Okay, so if we are interviewing per day thousand of people, okay, so when I'm taking the hr on, I'll be having a back to back hr ons for a day, somewhere close to 30 to 35 people. I cannot randomly sit and share them the meet link, right? Okay, you join at this time, you join at this time. No. So what we will be doing, we will be certainly automating it, right? So certain codings we will be doing it, and certainly we will be automating the hr task. So what it will be helping, it will be helping us to optimize our task, right? So it will be helping us to understand better, and it will be of course saving our time as well. Okay, so because when we are into a bulk, we will be into multiple things. We cannot randomly sit and send to all 30 people for the hr round. Okay, if I'm the panelist, I cannot sit and send, or if my team cannot send it, right? So we have to make sure we are something doing it as a automated. Okay, then we'll be having a skill based hiring done. Okay, so certain skill sets are required to onboard certain people, so that will be done. Employee experience focus will be there. Okay, so when you're completing your hr round, right? So when you're at the last step, so every hr asks this question: how was your experience so far in all the interview process? So they're trying to understand their interview experience, and once they're onboarded after a certain time, they'll start taking up the one-on-one with them. They'll try to understand what type of experience they had, right? So what type of things they have gone through, what made them feel that this is worth staying here, or what made them feel that the things are not working out and needs to be changed. Okay, so this is how the future of hrm looks completely. We will be having a ai, artificial intelligence will be there. Completely ai driven things will be coming up. Right now we have into the automation, and we have into only the telephonic part, but going forward we have into something called as interview hosting. Everything will be taken care by the ai. The human will be only guiding them, training that model, but other than that, everything the ai will be taking care. Okay, so that's how the future of human resources. It's not only about technical people getting replaced by ai, so the hr stuff is also getting replaced by ai. But of course human resource cannot be replaced by ai, but yeah, certain activities of HR can be replaced by AI. Okay, to make the HR work very smooth and very quick, we can utilize this AI in the recruitment. Okay, so basically, you being a student, what exactly you will require, right? So if you're coming into the talent toolkit, what exactly you require, right? So here, coming to the hard skills, first thing is you require the communication, interview skills, resume building, HR tools knowledge. Coming to the soft skills, you require the confidence, problem solving, adaptability, and teamwork. So this is what exactly we check in a interview, right? So when you are giving the interview, or when you are the HR, you will be checking out these things only for the students or the candidate. Okay, so what exactly the communication look likes, and what exactly they have the skill set, how the resume is, what exactly the knowledge they have. Are they focused towards the problem solving? Are they adaptable to our organization? Are they okay with the team working? Are they okay with the confidence part? These are the things that you will be checking. Okay, so coming to the career opportunities in HR, so like I think I have been almost into this domain from past 3 years. So basically, when it comes to the career opportunity in HR, okay, people do say people are working in HR domain as HR executive or HR specialist from a long time, but the growth might be a very slow pace. Okay, you might not have a very drastic change in the career, but yeah, so as days pass, the direct promotion what you will be getting, that will be in a higher position. Okay, you will be starting as a executive. Okay, initially starting as a executive, moving forward you'll be a HR recruiter or a talent acquisition specialist, depending on the organization, HR generalist, HR manager, L&D specialist. Okay, we have certain career opportunities you will be having. We might be into HR executive, we might be as a recruiter, we might be as a talent acquisition. In talent acquisition also we have different talent acquisition executive and specialist are two categories. Specialist is someone who will be only specifically focusing on to certain things. Executive is someone who will be overall looking after all the hiring process from onboarding, like from starting of the sharing of the job description till onboarding, we will be taking care. HR generalist is something they will be generally focusing on to all the departments of the HR. HR manager is something who will be guiding for these. L&D is something they will be focusing on to the learning and development. Okay, so learning and development will be there. Okay, so why you being should choose this domain is something. Once I was into your place, when even I was confused what to do, how to do. Okay, so coming from a technical background, shifting for this HR domain was something people did question to me why, right? So why did you come from technical to this? Okay, you would have done your career in IT, but still I choose something that I believe that I might be a good at communicating with the people, I might be good in understanding the people, right? So that's how I made a jump to this HR. So I do understand this domain has a high demand. People struggle to get into this domain, right? So people, it's not very easy to get into this domain and to excel in this domain. You will be having lot of pressures. Okay, not every candidate show up at the date of joining. Even that will be one of the things. Right? So even there will be so many challenges that you will be facing. People might not show up for the interview. People might not show up once after you release offer letter also on the date of joining. Something or the other things will be coming up, something or the other things will be happening at that day itself. So you will be having, you have to answer to the stakeholders. Even we will be having certain stakeholders, right? So we have to answer them why exactly we had a drop in the date of on the date of joining, why did you have a drop of certain peoples, right? So we even have to be there to answer. This is high in demand. If you take it as a challenge, it is a high in demand. You have a very good career growth opportunities, opportunity to work with the people, strategic role in companies. Okay, you might know people just look out in LinkedIn. Okay, so even now also, like people who have almost 10 to 15 years of experience, they reach out to me stating that we are looking out for the job. So this is something, a strategic role in the company, that each and every person everywhere, even he might be in any of the role in the organization of in the his previous organization, he might be in any role, he will be reaching out to only you. because you will be the face of the organization and you are the one who can take up the decision. So this is something, a strategic role that comes in the organization. You will be having opportunity to work with different people, different mindset people, to be very honest. You never know what type of people come up in the organization and you have to deal with them. You being a HR, so that's how you will be getting an opportunity to work with the people, and you'll be having a very good career opportunities, career growth. uh, People say, okay, people, HR people are earning this much and giving this much salary to someone else. Yeah, so even, yeah, that's true, because yeah, their job, their roles and responsibilities and our roles and responsibilities, our career path and their career path are two different things. When we are directly jumping into a lead position, they are still struggling with the SE position, right? So that's how it works. So it depends on the person to person, and it depends on to the organization to organization how the things will be there. Okay, so this is what the HRM looks like. So I hope everything is clear so far. Everything, people have understood what exactly the HRM look like and how the things will be working in HRM. So, and one more thing, like the HR person depends on like company to company and organization to organization how exactly they works. Okay, so not all process in the organization will be same. Okay, so different organization have a different set of rules, different set of compliance coming up. Okay, so if you guys have any doubts, any questions, you guys can raise your hand. We can answer it, or else we are good to go. Yes.
Students, if you have any doubts, kindly ask so that at least we can proceed on towards the next quiz session.
Yeah, guys, you can unmute yourself. If you have any doubts, anything that you want to discuss, you guys can unmute yourself and ask so that we can clarify. Yeah, guys, please make it quick, so it would be appreciated. Yeah, you guys can directly unmute yourself. No need to wait. Yes, Hema, we have Siddharth, Sai Charan. Yeah. You guys can unmute yourself, and if you want, you can ask, or if you have any doubts, you can drop a message in the chat box as well. We are open for both. You can unmute and you can speak, or else you can drop a message in the chat box as well.
Hello, good evening, ma'am. I'm Siddharth this side from Prayagraj.
Okay.
Ma'am, basically, my basic question is, what are the biggest challenges, ma'am, might someone face at this position?
Okay, so see, the first challenge will be the people won't turn up for the interview. Okay, so this is one of the major challenge. Even after sending them multiple reminders, telling them that your interview is scheduled and there will be no more reschedules that will be entertained, still people don't show up, and still they come up with a reason. Oh, I had some medical emergency or something, and I want to reschedule it. This is one of the things. And after completing 7 to 8 rounds of interviews, right? So after completing 7 to 8 rounds of interview, you will be having certain things called as people don't show up at the date of joining as well. That will be one of the thing. The people don't show up, right? So even that is one of the thing.
Got it, ma'am.
Yeah, so that is another thing. And if you take the other things, like people uh, might give one or the other lame reasons. You might get a very lame reasons from the people stating why they didn't join the interview or why they didn't join the organization. So that will be one of the things. Mm, how we have to face an interview and how to build our skill. See, building the skill is something first thing as a okay, when it comes for me, when I'm taking the last round of interview, usually I take up the last round of interview. Okay, so people do come. People have cleared certain rounds, first round, second round, third round, fourth round. They have cleared 4 to 5 rounds, and they have come for the HR round. So at that time, they be like they're not able to give a answer for a very basic question. Okay, I'm asking them why are you choosing this role. Okay, so they're not able to say. So they are nervous. I don't know for what reason. First thing is the confidence you have to build when you are in a face-to-face interview or when you're in a virtual interview. The first thing is how presentable you are. Okay, you're joining from the phone, you're sitting out, and you're joining from your mobile, or you're doing one of the other stuff while you're in the interview. That is something not entertained by the person. Okay, or your interview panelist, right? So you have to make sure the you are when you're in a virtual or a face-to-face, you are presentable. Okay, you are having a formal attire. And coming to how to build your skills is something building a skill is something in your hands. So what domain you're choosing and what exactly you want to do. Okay, so people have certain different aspects, okay, when it comes for a skill set. So you should see what domain you are choosing, and based on that you have to prepare yourself. The first thing is to crack any interview will be how good you are practicing on your skills and how confident you are and how presentable you are. Even though sometimes you might not know the answer, but still how you're tackling those and how you're coming up will be the most important thing, Vasu. And then we have one more question from Karishma that how we gave how we gave interview. And okay, so challenges in the interview is something. So see, to be very honest, before coming to this position, I was sometime in one time I was also in your position. Even we know like how difficult it is and how much struggle you will be doing to get that one job, right? So basically, the struggle or the challenges is something that you have to make sure that you're practicing well, and whatever the things are mentioned in the job description should be prepared very well. So that is one of the things. So you have to make sure that the things should be prepared well, and you should have a very good handhold in the skill set that is required and what is mentioned in the JD. So even in the HR round, you never know what type of questions will be thrown. Okay, and so for example, this was a recent incident that we had. So two people were of friends. Okay, so I didn't knew it. So I asked question to one person was one, and the same persons they have discussed something. So for the other person, I have thrown a different question. So that is something one we have selected and one we have rejected. So you never know what type of questions will be thrown to you. So you have to be very much attentive into that. So you have to understand what type of things be having and what type of role you are applying also matters. And certainly you have to research about the company as well before attending any of the interviews, especially when you come for the last round. You have to know what exactly the company is into, right? So that is one of the things you have to come prepared in the interview. Yes, so Siddharth, Sai, Charan. Yeah, Siddharth, Saichan, any doubt? If you guys don't want to like unmute yourself and talk, you can just drop a message also in the chat box, how Asu and Karishma has done. So I'll read out and I'll just help you with them. Yes, Yoga Priya.
Ma'am, do AI completely replace HR roles? And in interview, how many session will be there, ma'am? How we can attract the interviewer and to get the job?
Okay, so this is something a very different question that you are asking. So coming to this thing, AI will not never replace HR completely. There are certain things that a AI might replace, right? So when it comes for our organization, also in our organization, we have something for the telephonic interview. We have the AI. Okay, so we don't take up the telephonic interview, the AI take ups and it gives us the qualified candidates. That's how it works. So not everything will be replaced by AI in HR specifically. So that is a myth that we have. So AI cannot replace human. Okay, AI doesn't have that emotional bond with the people. Okay, so that cannot be replaced. Coming to one more question, that how to attract interview panelist is something uh, I'll not say like your presentability matters there. One thing is how presentable you are, even that matters. But it's like how bold you are, how good you're talking, and how you're representing yourself as a person. Okay. So this is something that you have to be okay with. And like fake interview and online also, how to see fake interview is something. See, whenever you're getting a call from the organization, right, so the first thing is you will be checking the company website. Okay, so you have to check the company website, so is it genuine or no. So the name what the person who took your telephonic interview said about the company is genuine or no. You have to research about the company before attending the interview. This is something not only to check the fake one or something. It's like something you have to do it just to understand more about the company, what is company into. This is one thing. How to handle difficult conversation? Conversation depends, like that is how smartly you handle. There might be a question thrown out of the box. Okay, so like there might be a thing thrown out of the box. So you should be well prepared for your role. What might be the possible questions that you'll be getting depending on the uh, interview, right? So it might be your round one, round two, round three, or HR round. So you have to be bold enough. Like, so see, there will be certain common questions. Okay, so one thing is we'll be having certain common questions. That is, one thing is like, tell me about yourself. What's the long term? What is your short term goal? So why exactly you're looking out for this role? Why exactly this company? So what made you choose this company among all these type of questions will be asked, right? So these are something you have to come prepared beforehand. At the time of interview, if you're sitting and just doing it, then it's not possible. So you have to have that previous hand holding on to these questions. Okay, so yeah, I hope the questions what are asked in the chat box are cleared. Saichal and Bhavya, yeah, it's done from the chat box. Any other questions? Anyone else? Okay, so see, uh, coming for the replacement of the job by AI is something. See, every possible role cannot be replaced by AI. Yeah, there are certain things or certain automation process or certain things that might be replaced by AI, and it's already been replaced. Okay, so and when coming for the work from home and work from office, work from home, you'll not get that exposure to the people. Okay, so you'll not understand what exactly the uh, company looks like and what exactly the people of the company looks like. Okay, when it comes for work from office, something you'll I think you will enjoy. Okay, you'll try to understand people better, you'll try to communicate better, you'll get that confidence, you'll have that conversation. Okay, even the virtual conversation and the in-person conversation will be completely different. So that is something you will be liking when you come for work from office model, I feel. Okay, and we insist people to choose, even though we have in our organization work from home and work from office, but we still choose people to choose work from office more than work from home. Okay, so yeah, what can a candidate do to stand on many applicants with the similar qualification? See, qualifications for every role will be similar. Okay, so everyone is, see, if I'm hiring for a technical role, so everyone comes up with the bachelor's of engineering, right? So everyone will be having the bachelor's of engineering. So here it depends, uh, the way you're making your resume. resume should be ATS friendly first thing. So even before it comes to our hand, it is going through two AI agents, right? So one is the ATS who is scanning your resume, and one is who is taking your telephonic interview through AI, right? So it goes them first, then it comes to us. Okay, so you should make sure that even though you have, see, everyone has a similar qualification. There are lakhs of people who are graduating in 1 year from the engineering, right? So you have to make sure that your application is standing out by matching the JD, right? So JD, matching of JD is most important thing. So your thing should match with the JD. Okay, how to behave in the interview and how to interact with the see. So there is a very good question, but yeah, coming to how to behave in the interview and how to interact with the HR is something you can say like uh, it depends. Okay, so what type of role you are. Okay, so how to behave in the interview, something that is a basic behavioral ethics that you will be having. Okay, so it will be a basic ethics that you have to follow. Okay, there is no choice in that. So every person has to have a basic presentability should be there, the way they behave, and see, attitude will be easily shown on the face of the candidate. Okay, so certain things you have to avoid: attitude, the aggression. That will be, if the feedback is given by the panelists, people don't accept it. They start, oh no, I'm the right person. People do like that. So that is one of the thing. Coming to how to interact with the HR, see, interacting with the HR, it depends on what topic you are talking. If it is a HR interview, then you have to show that willingness to join the organization, the eagerness to join the organization should be shown. If you are in the organization already, and how you are at that time you're interacting with HR, it depends to situation to situation. Okay. Okay, so I hope the doubts are cleared.